The world is starting to wake up to all this bullshit. Now, y'all heard what that man said. They be beating this girl up after the whistle, bruh. Beating her up, man. And all y'all want to do is tell us, we casual fans, we don't know basketball. This is a physical sport. Man, ain't no physical sport. It's hate and jealousy, bruh. And they be beating that girl up, man. And the WNBA allow this shit, bruh. But like he said, the world's biggest star. But let me guess. He buck dancing. He glazing. He tap dancing. He a coon. Come on, bruh. The world is starting to wake up. The biggest star in probably sports right now, bruh. Y'all letting this girl get done like that. And that's probably why she hurt. And we all know it.
The NBA has been exposed. And you won't believe how quickly the media rushed to defend Caitlin Clark. While she's being knocked around on the court and treated like a villain, the headlines are blowing up with outrage, calling for justice like it's a soap opera finale. From dirty plays to blatant disrespect, the situation feels less like professional basketball and more like a wild reality show complete with drama, chaos, and elbows flying. Stick around, because what's really happening in the WNBA will make you wonder if this is still sports or just entertainment gone off the rails.
These ain't gonna do it. Somebody gotta do something, right? But let's head on over to X right now. Pull up this footage, man. Shout out to the homeboy.
Being fouled. Right in the first quarter, Caitlin Clark obviously being fouled. The refs don't call it.
And it's crazy because let me go back there. Because the referee's literally right there. Like, bro, you're right there.
Somehow, people forgot what real physical basketball looks like and started playing like it's a WWE match. Shoulder checks now feel like attacks, and hard screens look more like fights than plays. There's a big difference between tough basketball and straight-up dirty behavior, but that line keeps getting crossed, especially when Caitlin Clark is the one taking all the hits.
Why is this happening? And I went back and I was thinking, the Caitlin Clark phenomenon is one that I got wrong. I never really thought that Caitlin Clark would make the difference that she has in college basketball or in the WNBA. There are, the WNBA opening game for Caitlin Clark set all-time records. There are millions of people that never cared about the WNBA at all that now care because Caitlin Clark is in the WNBA.
Let's take a step back. Physical play is fine. It's part of the game. That's what separates real competitors from casual players. You're supposed to feel the hits, elbows flying in the paint, bodies banging under the rim. This is basketball, not ballet. No one's asking for the league to be soft or gentle. The real problem starts when tough basketball crosses the line and turns into cheap shots, like a tackle drill at a football tryout.
Can relate to that young lady. I know what it's like to be hated. I know what it's like to be a black woman and hated because of my color. Yeah. I can't imagine this young lady. I don't want to use hate, but despise. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about it. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't true.
Right.
And the media acts like they don't see any of it. Suddenly, they're blind, deaf, and pretending replays don't exist. When Caitlin Clark gets knocked to the floor, they go completely silent, no reactions, no comments, just empty panels on ESPN. Meanwhile, clips of her getting hit go viral. She's getting fouled like she's in a Mortal Kombat highlight reel, and all she gets in return is silence. Maybe even a shrug, like she just tripped instead of getting slammed to the ground.
You need to start finding these women, bruh. Finding them, suspending them, and make an example out of somebody, bruh. We ain't gonna tolerate this shit, homie. We not gonna be tolerating this shit right here. What's that guy's name that's getting ready to come to the NBA? The white dude? I can't think of his name right now. The rookie that's going to Dallas. I guarantee you, man, they is not gonna be letting that dude get treated like Caitlin Clark, bruh. And all the men in the WNBA ain't gonna be jealous and shit neither, bruh. We know what we see, bruh. The problem is this, man. A lot of people don't like Caitlin Clark, bro. They just hate the girl so much, man, that they just can't even when the truth is staring them in their face, They chose to go the other way, bruh. Now that's what you call hate.
Now compare this to the NBA's golden era. Michael Jordan got roughed up plenty, but guess what? He got free throws. The refs blew the whistle, and there were consequences. If you knocked MJ down, you'd see him at the line seconds later, smirking. That's how the game used to be, tough but fair, with real officiating. In the WNBA, Caitlin Clark gets slammed, and the refs react like bored DMV workers counting the minutes till the weekend. And here's the real joke. When fans call it out, people rush in to defend the madness. They act like uncalled fouls are some kind of sacred tradition, talking about physicality like it's a lost art. You'd think body slamming someone was a heroic basketball move. They say, it's the culture, as if that culture was built on real basketball. At this rate, they might as well hand out brass knuckles before tip-off and call it team defense.
But with all that being said, you know, the WNBA referees has been having issues with getting these calls right when it comes to Caitlin Clark and the Fever, bruh. And I'm telling you, we have another case of that. And shout out to all the fans that, you know, put these TikToks together, put these videos together, kind of, you know, breaking down everything that has happened with the WNBA referees, because we have another game and we have another situation where WNBA referees fail to make the right calls against Caitlin Clark and the Fever. But then people want to get mad when Sophie Cunningham pretty much did what she did.
Let's be real, some of these hard fouls would be crimes if they happened anywhere outside a basketball court. If Caitlin Clark or anyone else, there'd be talk shows, panel discussions, and campaigns about protecting women in sports. But she's too successful, too famous, and yes, too blonde for the narrative to fit neatly. So instead of fairness, we get violent hits dressed up as gritty defense. If physicality had a PR team, they'd be suing for defamation. The irony? Caitlin actually embraces tough competition. She's not asking for soft treatment, she wants to earn her place. But it's hard to compete when you're dodging shoulders, like it's a contact sport version of dodgeball. There's a huge difference between challenging someone and trying to knock their teeth out, yet people keep acting like they don't see it. It's like they skipped learning real basketball and signed up for a class in pure pettiness. And here's the messed up part. The league profits from all of it. Every shove and cheap shot becomes viral content, debate material, and shallow hashtag activism. They make money off her pain, then tell her to tough it out.
All the videos that everyone on social media has me watching, a lot of clips from the WNBA right now too. And it's absolutely crazy to me to see the types of fouls and the lack of calls that are having on them from these refs that the players are doing. They're just straight hacking each other. And like, we wouldn't even allow that like at our kids' games that we go to watch, let alone in the NBA. And it's just wild to me that you have somebody that took stadiums, which only had like 7,000 people in them to attend live games, to completely packed and tripling the ticket prices.
Meanwhile, the same media outlets that once called Caitlin Clark overhyped are now quietly posting close-ups of her black eye just to get clicks. It's like a twisted modern sports story hurt her, then profit from her comeback. And the refs? You'd think with cameras covering every inch of the court, they'd call the game tighter than ever. But nope. Caitlin can get launched across the baseline like she was shot from a cannon, and still no whistle, no technical, nothing. Just a slow jog back on defense while she scrapes herself off the floor like a cartoon character after getting hit by a train. And if she dares to show frustration, cue the hot takes. She needs to calm down. She's not used to this league. She should adjust. Adjust to what? Physics not applying, refs acting like the rulebook is a bedtime story, being the only player held to gladiator standards in a league that calls itself family friendly. And let's not ignore the real issue: jealousy. It's thicker than a protein shake that won't blend. Some players don't see Caitlin as a fellow athlete, they see a spotlight they think they deserve. So instead of stepping up their own game, they take cheap shots at hers. This isn't tough defense, it's bitter frustration in the pads. Through all the chaos, Caitlin Clark keeps showing up, scoring, and packing arenas with crowds bigger than some hometown parades. She's not just bringing talent, she's bringing proof. Every elbow she takes becomes a SportsCenter clip. Every missed call leads to another sold-out game. And every cheap shot only adds to her legend. Here's the part no one wants to admit. The more people try to knock her down, the bigger she gets. The WNBA wanted attention, and they got it, but now they're stuck in a mess they helped create. Caitlin is the golden goose, and they keep poking it, hoping for more without realizing they're chasing it in circles. So go ahead, keep calling it physicality. Keep watching players get knocked down, fouls vanish, and media narratives twist like Olympic gymnasts. But don't act shocked when fans start wondering if they're watching basketball or an episode of American Gladiators. And maybe, just maybe, when the next dirty play goes viral, the conversation will finally shift from Caitlin needs to toughen up to why are we even letting this happen at all?
Caitlin Clark effect continues to go wild. We are witnessing a cultural force that has not been seen since Tiger Woods. Let's talk about the effect her teammate has gotten over the last couple weeks. Sophie Cunningham defended her Fever teammate last week in a scuffle against the Mercury, in response to what many people would consider a bit more hazing than usual for Caitlin Clark over the last year and a half. Next, let's look at the top followed WNBA athletes in the league right now. Just in the last week since she defended her teammate, she has now gained over 1 million followers collectively. By the end of this week, she'll probably be top 4. Now, we don't have official figures for TikTok, but she is at 1.3 million followers on TikTok.
And speaking of uncomfortable truths, let's talk about the refs, the real MVPs of this circus. And by MVPs, we mean masters of vanishing penalties. Because the moment Caitlin Clark touches the ball, the rule book seems to go on a coffee break. The whistles disappear like they fell into a black hole. She gets hammered in plain sight, on HD replay, and the officials just wave it off like, nothing to see here, just another Olympic-level takedown on aisle 3. Honestly, it's impressive at this point. There's been more physical contact in Caitlin's last 10 plays than an entire hockey season, and the refs are out here treating it like modern art. Arms flying, bodies crashing, chaos everywhere, and still silence. You'd think the refs were meditating in noise-canceling headphones.